inside the Carrier Dome, where Syracuse wins its first round NIT matchup against UNC Greensboro 90-77 right here at the Dome. With Michael Tricarico and KJ Vaughn, I'm Kevin Ryans. Now, guys, Syracuse really came out the gate really doing well, and that really put UNC Greensboro in a hole.
Yeah, it certainly did, Kevin. I mean, and this was the classic. We didn't get in the NCAA tournament, meaning, from a player's perspective, how are you going to come out? You're going to come out with energy and something to prove, or are you going to come out flat? And Syracuse certainly did not come out flat. You talk about a guy like Andrew White. I mean, he just throughout the game showed that energy from three-point range and attacking rim, and then Tyus battle too. I mean, he got into the lane and just made plays, and it shows from a grad student down to a freshman. All of the players on this team had something to prove, and Syracuse certainly did it, especially on the offensive end.
Now, Michael mentioned Andrew White the third. KJ, he had 34 points, shot 7 of 9 from 3. He was lights out from beyond the arc.
Yeah, Andrew White was absolutely lights out, shot the ball very well, and it was, surprising. The last time he was in the Dome was that Georgia Tech game where he went off, and he went off again today, in the process breaking the all-time three-pointers in a season mark that was previously held by Jerry McNamara, so obviously that was a huge accomplishment for White. But again, White, as usual, was all about the team, and he mentioned how them getting him the ball is what allowed him to dominate, but he certainly did that today.
Now, I mean, what does it say about a team, guys, when you're not in the NCAA tournament? It could be a huge letdown, like you mentioned, but they were able to go out there and really pummel a team that they were better than, and it shows that they did care about this whole game and everything.
I mean, I think it says a lot about the character of this team, and you've seen it with all the comebacks that this team has made. It's those second-half comebacks. Haven't always come back to win all of those games when you talk about NC State or Clemson, winning those, coming back on the road at Georgia Tech. You lost that game, but had a chance. And Jim Boeheim throughout the season has talked about character. This team just doesn't quit. And yeah, they didn't get in the NCAA tournament, but didn't quit. NIT tournament first round, and just to score 90 points. Yeah, maybe the defense could have been better, but heck, 90 points, you're shooting 57% from the field. When you have a guy like Andrew White who is still trying to build his draft stock, try and rise up and get a high draft pick, as he's done. Tyler Lydon may be gone after this season. No matter whether he's back or not, he's still trying to prove to NBA scouts that he can play. And they got two freshmen in Torian Thompson and Tyus Battle, who they're probably not going to be gone after this year, but again, after next year, you never know. And they're still playing they're trying to get playing time for next year, trying to prove things to not just the draft scouts, but also to Coach Boeheim that hey, we're going to be a big part of next year's team.
KJ?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely said a lot about Cuse. The one thing that I'm going to point to is at the halftime, UNC Greensboro was only down 10, and it looked like, they were kind of weathering the storm that Cuse was really providing in the first half. For me, the second half, really, when Cuse came out and they kind of lit it up and they got going, and that's what allowed them to really built a 20-point lead at one time, and then from there it was smooth sailing. So that really showed the heart and the character of this team, that in the second half of an NIT first-round game playing against UNC Greensboro, you didn't quit, you didn't think you were too good, you still kicked it in gear, and then you ended up getting a big W.
Syracuse wins 90-77. Let's hear from Jim Boeheim after the game.
I thought we obviously shot the ball really well. We played well. We made some bad turnovers that we really shouldn't be making at this stage of the season. I don't have an explanation for it. I think that UNCG is a very, very good team. I thought to get them down 22 the way they played, they won their last 7 in a regular season and came within a shot of getting to the tournament. I thought that we played really well for a long period of time. They started out and they had made 4 straight threes in the first half, and we did a good job on Alonzo. This is the first time this year that we've actually targeted a guy and done a good job on him. We were there for him the whole game. But some bad turnovers, they convert them really quickly. But obviously Tyus shot well early. Andrew shot well the whole game. I thought we did some really good things, moving the ball on offense, getting the right shots. Just some bad turnovers. That's all that you can't make. But they're a very good basketball team, and we played well for the most part today.
So Jim Boeheim, as always, is mixed with his teams and everything. He says good things and then he says a lot of bad things. Syracuse defensively at the end kind of, not so good at the end,
Yeah, made some mistakes, and it's something you really haven't seen a lot from this team when they've gotten a lead, especially against the bad teams. Maybe North Florida very early in the year was one of the first times that Syracuse jumped out to a big lead and then let a team come back towards the end and made some mistakes, and that's exactly what happened here. A couple of turnovers, a couple of bad plays offensively, and then defensively not getting back. It's certainly a little bit of a disappointment as far as that goes, but ultimately, I think Jim Boeheim said it. At this point, you just need to get the win. That's all that matters when it's a postseason tournament. Syracuse got the win. They're on to the second round, and they're going to be playing a good Ole Miss team. The good thing for Syracuse, going to be right here in the Carrier Dome.
Yeah, maybe something to change defensively as they face Ole Miss over on Saturday?
Yeah, definitely, when talking to the players after this one, you would be surprised. It almost seems like they didn't think they won because they were saying we need to get better on the defensive end. So they see the improvement. The one thing I can take away from this one was it seemed like UNC Greensboro was able to dribble, drive, penetration, and then kick out of the zone, and that is going to hurt when teams start hitting the three. So if Syracuse can communicate a little better and really trap that ball and then recover out to the three-point line, that's what's going to bode well for them as they go into the Ole Miss game.
All right, well, the Orange win 90-77 over UNC Greensboro. They take on the number 5 seed Ole Miss on Saturday, 11 a.m., early start time. So make sure that they're awake and ready to go over at the Carrier Dome over on Saturday. For Michael and for KJ, I'm Kevin. Follow us on Twitter at CitrusTV Sports, and always go to CitrusTV.com for more. Have a good night.